I'm Joan Lunden. Welcome to DirecTV Hometown Heroes. We travel all over America to communities large and small to find stories about DirecTV subscribers who perform extraordinary acts of kindness and courage every day. Tonight, the incredible story of a family from Nebraska who gave a baby girl they'd never met the ultimate gift.
How are you?
I am just so incredibly lucky, and I know it. I know I'm the most fortunate person ever.
We'll travel to South Dakota, along with the special man who comes to the rescue of America's family farmers when disaster strikes.
The crop is in.
Thank you.
And head to Southern California to meet a former barber who has made literacy his life's work.
When I started reading, I would just leave. I would just go away. I would travel all over the world.
This is DirecTV Hometown Heroes.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming, picking up passengers from coast to coast. All you need is faith to hear that diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just get on board.
We begin tonight with a story about how even strangers can become as close as family. When Lily Allen was a tiny baby, she was on the verge of death. But thanks to a family from Nebraska that she'd never met, she got the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. Syracuse, New York. It's one of America's great college towns. And on a warm summer day in 2008, it was the location for a wedding that bordered on miraculous.
Brian, get the bride.
The bride is 25-year-old Lily Allen.
I am just so incredibly lucky, and I know it. I know I'm the most fortunate person ever.
The groom, 23-year-old Brian Allen.
Marriage was amazing. Just so far, life has been great.
You think back and you know that this almost wasn't, and that it was a possibility that it never would be.
And this is Milton and Janet Bemis. And without them, this day, the happiest of Lily's life, never takes place.
We've got a wonderful story to tell, and we want other ones to feel the same way we feel. That's why we do this.
Their story begins in 1984 in Nebraska.
Oh, look at over here.
Milton and Janet already had 2 daughters when they welcomed their first son, Matthew.
Matt was a ball of fire. He was a little boy that was into everything.
Matthew was full of action, full of love. Just a super fun son to have.
When Matthew was 2, the family took a vacation to a nearby lake. Then, when nobody was looking, the toddler fell into the water and drowned, suffering irreversible brain damage.
As soon as we got him to the hospital, they put him on life support. And we knew right away. The doctors were very open with us, and we knew fairly certain that Matthew probably would never make it.
Faced with the unthinkable, Milton and Janet made a fateful and at the time unprecedented decision.
I just happened to say, "Do you think we can?" And Milton finished my sentence.
I said, donate, and she said, yeah.
Meanwhile, across the country at the UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles, a defenseless toddler from Tucson was days away from death. 14-month-old Lily Allen was stricken with a rare cancer affecting the lining of her liver.
There comes a time when enough is enough. And you don't want to have someone suffer anymore.
Lily had just one highly experimental chance at survival, a liver transplant.
They would either have to accept her into the transplant program and do their best to find a liver, or we were going to have to take her home in a body bag.
At that moment, back in Nebraska, Milton and Janet said goodbye to their beloved Matthew.
Told him he was a great son. He was a hero. And we loved him. And we would miss him.
As they were taking him out of the room, I leaned over and I whispered in his ear, I said, Matt, somebody needs you. Somebody needs you, and you're going to help somebody.
A Tucson, Arizona child is going through the first day of her life with a new and healthy liver.
Lily is now in critical but stable condition. Her parents are just thankful that it wasn't.
It shows us how the end of one life can begin another.
First reported exclusively last night.
And everyone knew and loved Matthew.
Now we can report that her new liver came from 2-year-old Matthew Bemis of Rising City, Nebraska.
Donated Matthew's organs so something good could come from his death. His liver provided a life-saving transplant for this 1.5.
When we saw that picture, we knew that we had made the right decision.
To the amazement of her doctors, Lily's body accepted Matthew's liver without complications, but her life expectancy was only 5 years.
The best they could tell me was that if she survived the first year without complication, she stood an 80% chance of surviving 5 years. And that was all they could ever tell me.
I didn't fully understand everything. Like, all I knew is that I had a boy's liver, my mind wasn't able to comprehend and make sense of what had happened.
Very happy, Lily, about a month after transplant.
As the years passed and Lily grew up, she met Milt and Janet and saw that they'd become dedicated advocates for organ donation.
They go to conferences, they spread the word, they work so hard, and it's just absolutely heroic. And it's so selfless.
One of the reasons we do these presentations is so that we get the word out about organ donation. We really hope to inspire people by doing this. That's the reason we do this.
This is a happy story. It starts out sad, but it is a happy story. Our goal is to encourage people to sit down and discuss their desires in case tragedy happens in their family and to make a decision to be an organ donor. That's important, though, that everybody understands in their hearts they made the right decision.
Now that she's an adult, Lily has signed on to the cause. She even joined Milt and Janet at this recent appearance. And when she got married, she realized her special day wouldn't be complete without the presence of the people who'd saved her life. So Milt and Janet had a place of honor at Lily's wedding, held exactly 24 years to the day after she received Matthew's liver.
They had us in the reception line, and they introduced us as Lily's donor parents. And we got so many hugs from friends and family of hers. So many hugs. It did make it special.
It was like my own daughter getting married. It's just exciting, and to see her and how happy she is.
I don't know how to describe it, except it was extremely hard not to burst into tears very loudly and very obviously.
Lily says having Milton and Janet in her life is something she'll never take for granted.
The Beamises mean the world to me, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. I can't imagine in your darkest moment being able to make it positive.
And for Milt and Janet, there's deep satisfaction in knowing that they and little Matthew were able to give Lily something truly precious, the gift of life.
Good to see you again.
We're lucky. We know that we made the right decision. We're able to hug Lily, and we know exactly what happened to her.
I'm not a hero. We did it because Matthew no longer needed his organs. He's the hero. We're not.
It's just something that happened to us, that we were fortunate enough to make something good happen out of a tragedy.
Milt and Janet didn't just save Lily's life because they've been courageous enough to tell their story for the past 24 years. They've saved countless others as well. For their extraordinary dedication to promoting organ donation, we're pleased to call Milt and Janet Bemis DirecTV Hometown Heroes. Coming up next, a pilot comes back down to earth to help family farmers in America when they need it most.
It's a lot of work, but it does make me feel good when you go and help people.
And later, we travel from the Dakota Plains to one of Southern California's biggest cities to meet the man who went from the barber's chair to bookstore owner.
A toda nuestra familia en mi cara.
For more information on these and all of our stories, go to directv.com/heroes. You're watching DirecTV Hometown Heroes. I'm Joan Lunden. At the most recent Republican National Convention, one speaker made a passionate plea to support American farmers in need. And his words inspired hundreds of volunteers to join his cause. Correspondent Jennifer Santiago has his story.
Sunrise in Eureka, South Dakota. One of the few remaining places where Americans still operate small family farms.
I didn't think I'd ever see grass on the yard again.
For Damien and Martha Kappenman, today is Harvest Day.
Okay, where are we going? Out there?
But this is a harvest day that almost wasn't.
Let's take a look at these, Damien, when we think they might be ready to harvest.
Without the help of this man, the Kappenmans would never have had a crop this year.
How many acres are in this field?
There's probably about 135 here, yeah.
135 acres left to do here.
His name is Bill Gross, and he's the founder and president of Farm Rescue, a volunteer nonprofit organization that last year helped 36 farmers plant and harvest crops when they faced a crisis.
I came up with the idea of Farm Rescue because I noticed over the years that there were fewer family farms and less children on those farms, and that when a major injury, illness, or natural disaster occurred, it was harder for neighbors to help one another. So I thought there should be a formal organization to help farm families in rural communities.
Bill learned all about helping during his own childhood on a farm in North Dakota.
Growing up on a farm, you learned how to work hard, and you worked long days from 6 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night.
But Bill's adult life took him far away from the family farm. He became a 747 pilot for UPS, but the lure of working the land was never far from his heart.
We would talk up on the flight deck, and the pilots, we'd say, well, what are you going to do when you retire? And I would say, well, I'm going to get myself a big John Deere tractor and go out and help family farmers. And the other pilots would laugh about it, but I was dead serious about it.
They're pretty wet right now, aren't they?
In 2006, Bill used his own money to form Farm Rescue, which helps farmers when illness, death, or natural disaster has struck.
Hello, Damien. It's nice to see you. I have the crew with me here to do some harvesting for you.
The day we were there, Bill and a team of volunteers arrived at the farm of Damien and Martha Kappenman here in Eureka. A year and a half ago, a tornado ripped this farm to pieces.
Right over here, that's where our house used to sit, right here.
We expect one thing to be gone or a couple things to be wrecked, but you don't expect your whole farm of 23 buildings to be gone, and a trailer house that was up the road, gone. Everything just gone. It's like it vanished.
Damien and Martha lost everything.
This used to be our backyard, and there were evergreens going all the way around. Over here, that used to be our dairy barn.
About 3 weeks after, we burnt the house. That was hard.
It's amazing how your life can change in about 4.5 minutes.
They thought they were done with farming. The future was uncertain.
Without Farm Rescue, we'd probably be done. Simple as that.
We'll stay until it's done, Damien.
Sounds great.
Last spring, Bill and his volunteers, who come from all over the country, helped Damien plant more than 700 acres of wheat and soybeans.
When we seen Farm Rescue coming down the road, it's an overwhelming feeling. It puts tears in your eyes to know that there's people out there that care to help you.
So it's dig in.
That's right.
Now, after a hearty meal, they're back with manpower and equipment to begin the harvest.
I'm an irritable little old man, and I want to get going.
Bill's volunteers are so committed, they pay for their own lodging near every farm they work on.
I oftentimes think the volunteers get more out of it than what the family does. They love working here and helping out, and we try to have a good time while we're helping people at the same time.
For these men, nothing beats the feeling of helping a farm family facing difficult times.
I think the good Lord put us on this earth not only to help ourselves, but to help others. So it just makes you feel good, and you know that you're helping others that really need help.
Next time, line up with the second pole. It's a good experience. It's a good feeling to be able to help these folks because they're very fine folks.
We're keeping people from having to go to the bank and get foreclosed on. We're keeping other family in the farming business.
Damien and Martha say that Bill and Farm Rescue have made it possible to rebuild their way of life.
It's awesome to have them here helping. It's just unreal. It's like they become family members.
You're here, though, for about a week or so.
I can't even describe how it meant. It's knowing that somebody cared enough to come and help you out in a time of need.
So you're all finished, Smokey?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Let's go tell the Kappelmans that we're all done, and we'll get packed up and leave.
Okay.
So we're all finished. So good, good.
After 5 long, back-breaking days, the work is finally done, and it's time to say goodbye.
We gave lots of hugs and made sure that they knew that we were very appreciative of their help and that they would take this time to be here with us.
You didn't forget me, huh?
Bye, Charlie. And I know that they knew. We were very grateful for them being here.
Years ago, Bill left his family farm to take to the skies. Now he's back on solid ground, helping hundreds of families like his hold on to their way of life.
He is our hero. For putting a program together like this and coming in and caring enough to help out.
Can you help me roll this up?
Bill could be doing his own thing and not caring. And to me, he has a heart of gold.
Keep us posted, and I'll see you again, Damien and Martha.
I don't consider myself a hero. I consider myself a hard-working, everyday person. It's a lot of work, but it does make me feel good. There are rewards far beyond any financial rewards that people could receive when you go and help people.
Without farm rescue help, it would be tough to start over. It probably wouldn't be possible. He's definitely a hero.
Bill has a message for other people who have charitable ideas they'd like to pursue someday. His message is simple: don't procrastinate, do it now. Bill Gross's personal campaign to assist the American farmer makes him a DirecTV hometown hero. Coming up next, meet a man with an unwavering commitment to improving literacy rates in his community.
This was a dream come true, owning bookstores.
To nominate a hero, go to our website at directv.com/heroes. Our next story is all about helping children make something of themselves with just the power of words. Correspondent Rachel Campos Duffy went to Southern California to meet the man who understands that words help make anything possible.
Santa Ana, California. With a population of more than 350,000 people, it's the largest city in Orange County. More than 80% of the city's residents are Hispanic. And one man has taken a special interest in helping them. His name is Ruben Martinez. I traveled to Santa Ana to meet Ruben and find out what he does. He told me his story begins, oddly enough, with a barber's chair.
Wow. This is the barber shop.
This is old school.
This is 100 years old.
It was while working as a barber that Ruben found what he says is his true calling, running a bookstore promoting literacy, especially among children.
Y a los dos nos gusta poner los dibujos.
He cares deeply about the children who are the future.
Hello, corazoncito.
And he believes that literacy is the best way to make them stronger.
Y me dice que puedo ver a toda nuestra familia en mi cara.
Better able to face the future.
So this was a dream come true, owning bookstores. Who would ever think, you know?
Ruben's journey to the life of his dreams began in Arizona. where his parents worked long days in the copper mines.
You grew up in a home that didn't have books.
None, zero. I wanted to explore. I wanted to find out what color this world was. This is one of my favorite little books, Siempre te querré, I will love you forever. And books took me there. Books were my ticket out of the copper mines. It is your right to ask. When I started reading, I would just leave. I would just go away to how they lived their lives in this country. Would travel all over the world, leave nothing to chance.
That love of reading came along with Ruben when he moved to California and eventually started his own business.
I'll take it in here. I wanted to be a barber. I wanted to be my own business person. And I did. In the late 70s, I opened up my first hair salon. Good books out there, huh?
Ruben started loaning books to his customers, and before long, that led to a turning point in his life.
What made you want to take the step from lending out books, cutting hair? How did it lead to becoming a business?
Friends and customers used to tell me, well, you like books so much, why don't you just start a business?
Morning. Buenos dias. Where's everybody?
The only thing I knew about the business is that I knew how to read. I really like this. That's about it. I listened to my heart, and that was 15 years ago, so here we are.
Where we are is Libreria Martinez, Ruben's spacious store in downtown Santa Ana.
Your books are 75% in Spanish. Your population in this town is very Spanish-speaking.
It's a story about reading.
Where do we go with all that in terms of kids learning English?
I've been a firm believer that when children learn how to read and write Spanish well, so siempre les digo yo a los niños, it'll be a lot easier for them to learn English. Mucha verdura y coman mucha lectura. Bilingual education, bilingual books are back in again. Parents are requesting them. Teachers love them. Let's give Jesse a hand, folks. So they're in, and we're carrying them, and we're recommending them, and parents are very, very, very pleased.
Ruben's aim is to make his store a cultural and educational hub of Orange County.
Next Thursday, we have 4 Latinas that are going to come in, and we have Marco.
To do that, he offers a wide variety of free services.
We have English classes, we have Spanish classes, we have art classes. We have citizenship classes. All these are free. These are for our customers and our community. So these books are very, very good motivational books.
Ruben told me he has a special interest in promoting literacy among the children of his community.
And if you have books at home, the children eventually will pick them up.
That's why Libreria Martinez has a section devoted to just kids.
Oh, how exciting.
Ruben says that weekly story time gives him more satisfaction than anything else.
Story times to me is the best time. I used to do it with my kids. This is Sabrina, and this is Samantha. I do it with my grandkids. That's what happens when you read a lot. You will go to places all over the world. I'm doing it with everybody's kids.
Ma'am, I think it's over there in that chest of drawers. Let's go check.
In story time, you have to act out the story. You know, you just don't read it. You have fun. They're more emotional. And you play the role, the part. You make these faces. You move your arms.
I'm hoping this all over the place because every wicked witch comes to buy my black cats.
The kids have a tendency to just light up when they have a good book and when it's read to them the right way. They're like little sponges. They just soak in everything that's around them.
For everybody who knows Ruben,
Mr. Mayor, how are you?
How are you?
they say there's a special magic to his enthusiastic love of books and learning.
Ruben constantly is doing things for somebody else. Constantly.
Our next signing is going to be October 30th, next Thursday.
He's going out, you know, he gives lectures.
Los libros tienen 50% más palabras.
He motivates people, he gives them pep talks, he introduces them to books.
Buenos días, pues yo desperté muy tempranito, ¿cómo está?
I think he is the definition of a hometown hero.
Ruben is passionate about the things that matter to him. He loves this community, he loves his people, and the definition of his people grows every day.
How does it feel to know that you started all this.
You know, I always imagined this, so it's like a dream come true.
Yet, even though Ruben's dreams have been realized, he told me he'll never leave behind the thing that started it all, his trusty barber chair.
No matter where we go, what we do, that barber chair is going to go with us, because a lot of kids, the first thing when they come into the store, especially teenagers, they want to know, where's the barber chair? Because that's where the dream was born, in the barber chair.
Ruben told us that this year, at the age of 70, he plans to enroll in college, and he's raising funds to take 70 youngsters along with him. For all he does to promote literacy and learning, Ruben Martinez is a DirecTV hometown hero. Finally, tonight's Hero Update. Last season, correspondent Grant Goodeve brought us a story of Paul and Cindy Tees, who created a summer camp for children and teens with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Since then, Paul and Cindy have expanded their operation. More on that after this brief look back.
We do sleepovers, we have pillow fights, we have food fights.
You see somebody come up and their face is just lit up in this huge grin because they just went down the water slide, or they just finished riding a horse or something like that, or they just went through the ropes course, and they're so happy.
I hope they leave holding their heads high with big smiles on their faces and remembering that I do matter. I am a person who has a place in this world.
Since we visited with Paul and Cindy, a tornado touched down in Purdy, Missouri. It swept through the outer edges of Camp Barnabas, but fortunately, all the buildings were spared. And this past summer, Paul and Cindy served a record 1,300 campers. The inspirational stories you've just seen show how DirecTV subscribers are changing lives in their communities. Whether it's donating organs to save a stranger's life or assembling volunteers to help farmers in crisis, these unsung heroes show us how we all can make a difference. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on DirecTV Hometown Heroes. Until then, I'm Joan Lunden.
People get ready, there's a train coming, picking up passengers from coast to coast. All you need is faith.